We met on a Wednesday, an ordinary, forgettable kind of day. It was drizzling, and I'd chosen the wrong shoes for the weather. A mutual friend brought us together over lunch. He wasn't the loudest or most charismatic at the table, but his laugh caught my attention. It was real, a little rough around the edges, and it stayed with me. His name was Daniel. He didn't try to impress me. He simply listened. Asked questions that felt genuine, not rehearsed. When I mentioned my dog, he remembered her name. 2 days later, he sent me a photo of a coffee mug with a golden retriever on it and wrote, "Made me think of you." It was silly. It was thoughtful. It made me smile, but I didn't respond. Not because I wasn't interested. I was. And that scared me. I'd just come out of something that had worn me down. Not dramatic, but exhausting in a quiet, persistent way. It started intensely and ended with a slow fade. So when Daniel showed up, steady, kind, no drama, I didn't know how to handle it. My heart wasn't used to being handled gently, but he kept showing up. Not with grand gestures, but with quiet presence. A quick message now and then, asking about my day or sharing a song he thought I might like. It was simple, sincere. Eventually, I said yes to dinner. We went to this little bistro downtown, cozy and warm, filled with the smell of garlic and the sound of laughter. He held the door open, pulled out my chair, never once looked at his phone. Everything about it felt easy, too easy. And that uneasiness came from me, not him. I'd grown used to relationships where love felt like effort, like work, like trying to solve a puzzle I never had all the pieces for. But Daniel didn't come with any puzzles. Just peace. And I didn't know what to do with peace. We kept seeing each other, slowly, cautiously. But I never let things get too close. Every time he started to reach deeper, I'd deflect. With humor, with small talk, with silence. I held parts of myself back, and he noticed. One night, after dinner, we were walking. Quiet street, soft air. He looked over and said gently, "You don't need to keep your guard up with me. I'm not here to hurt you." I smiled but didn't respond. I'd heard words like that before, and they'd lost their meaning somewhere along the way. Then came the rooftop evening. He'd found this charming spot, fairy lights strung above us, jazz humming in the background, the air just cool enough to feel like fall. He asked how my week had been, and I told him. He listened like it mattered, like it all mattered. Then the moment came. The quiet space that opens when something true wants to be said. He leaned in a little and said, "I really like you." And I panicked. I broke eye contact, laughed too fast, took a sip of water I didn't need. Then I said the thing I'd been holding back. "You're kind, Daniel. But I'm not ready." I said it gently, even smiled, thinking maybe that would soften it. But I saw the change in him. The light in his eyes dimmed, his shoulders pulled back, just a bit, as if bracing for something. He gave a small nod. Half a smile. The kind that tries to hide the hurt. Something inside me ached. He quietly signaled for the check. No questions, no arguments, just acceptance. He paid, no theatrics, no guilt, only grace. Then he stood, looked at me once more, and said, "Take care of yourself, okay?" And with that, he left. I sat there, trying to act like it didn't hurt, repeating all the things I'd convinced myself were true, that it was the right decision, that I wasn't prepared, that he deserved someone who could show up fully, not someone still dragging around the past. But the truth? It was never about doubt in him. It was about doubt in myself. He saw things in me I hadn't even dared to acknowledge. He showed up for a version of me I hadn't grown into yet. And instead of letting him in, I quietly shut the door, pretending it was to protect him. But really, I was shielding myself, from being seen too clearly, from being loved in a way that felt too real, too honest. From confronting the parts of me that still didn't believe I was worthy of someone like him. That night, I checked my phone. No new messages. I scrolled through our old chats, the memes, the good morning texts, the spontaneous words of support. All those small, tender things. And the next morning, I noticed his name no longer lit up my screen. Not blocked, just quiet. I thought about reaching out, typing something, anything. But what could I say? That I didn't mean what I said? Except, in that moment, I *had* meant it. I truly believed I wasn't ready. And maybe I wasn't. But readiness doesn't wait for permission. It comes when you choose. And I didn't choose him. Days turned into weeks. I saw other people. Some made me laugh, others made me feel lost. But none made me feel safe the way he did. And safety, real safety, isn't boring. It's rare. Then one evening, while running errands, I saw him across the street. He was holding someone else's hand. She looked at him in a way I never allowed myself to, like he was hers. And maybe he was. He looked content. And that's when I realized, he wasn't waiting for me anymore. He'd stopped hoping I'd figure it out. He'd moved on. Found someone who welcomed the love he had to give, without hesitation. I never reached out. Not because I didn't want to, but because I knew, he had found someone who didn't need convincing. Someone who didn't have to battle fear just to let him in. Sometimes we don't lose people because their love runs out. We lose them because they finally accept that we'll never choose them with the same certainty they chose us. And that's the hardest part, not that they walked away, but that we gave them every reason to. So if you ever find yourself sitting across from someone who truly sees you, really sees you, and your instinct is to pull away because it feels too soft, too steady, too good, pause. Don't let fear do the talking. Sometimes, I'm not ready is just fear wearing a mask. And you're too sweet is really a quiet exit. I told him he was sweet. I told him I wasn't ready. He smiled, paid the bill, and left.